Hey guys, so today is going to be a sketch day video about one of my all-time favorite moments in my life, and it is the first concert I ever been to. So we are going to draw Kid Cudi, and if you do not want spoilers about the concert, if you're planning to go on it or if you're not a fan, it's just like one of those moments where it's your first experience of doing this in life. And so stay along and listen if you want, because I'm going to tell you everything that happened. It literally happened yesterday and I had to make this video because it is magical. So Kid Cudi's concert, I still feel like my voice isn't 100% and my eardrums aren't 100% because I lost some of my hearing not once but twice in my ear, in my left side, and I'm like, it's okay because maybe like the voices and like the music stuck in there and I'll just have it in my head for like eternity. I'm fine with that. So I was lucky enough to have a wonderful friend to buy me concert tickets as an early birthday present because my birthday is in like exactly a month from now on October 6th. I say that like I don't know. Of course I know. And this was like, oh my gosh. So we get there. And again, I am telling you this as a friend and not trying to spoil anything, but hopefully it'll make people want to go to this concert because I can't think of another concert that I could be able to go to because this was so good. It might not meet up the expectations of this one if I go to another one. Oh my gosh. First of all, you get there and Logic is playing and the arena is like only less than halfway full and you're like, okay, where are the other people? And then the next person live is Tyler the Creator and more people start coming. I'm like, okay, but this arena isn't full. Like, I expect this to be full and crazy. And he was good and he had like these displays of golf and I didn't know what it meant because I'm not like a huge Tyler the Creator fan. And I had a feeling when he was doing these displays for his stage that he must be knowing that this next performance, who's Kid Cudi, who's like the main person there, is going to be so good, and it went beyond and soared above my expectations. Like, it took a ride on a spaceship and went to Pluto. Pluto isn't called a planet anymore because that's where Kid Cudi probably travels to. Like, that's probably his home base where he makes all these magical songs, and I think he should deserve his own genre because it's a little bit of rock and rap and oh, it's just so good. And it's so wonderful because there's people from ages like literally 12 years old to like bald men with glasses who are older, and it was just a beautiful thing. And just in the moment, now I see why people go to concerts. And talking about 10 and 12-year-olds, there were girls like in booty shorts. I'm serious that they were 12 years old drinking beer, but that's another side of the point. It was just so, I did not care. There was someone puking behind us and almost hit us, and my little friend Pam, we call her little keychain, it almost hit her. And I was like, are you okay? And she was sick and her stomach wasn't feel good. She's like, girl, this concert's so good, just do your thing. And so I was jumping, and when he first started out, let me tell you about this stage. The stage was like, he had this curtain, white curtain, people like pulled it down actually, and like it didn't work. They pulled it off and I thought the lights were gonna fall on top of him, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a disaster. And once the audience pulled the curtains down and it was part of like the set, you saw them building this thing and it just looked magical and like, oh my gosh, they're gonna ruin it for us. And of course, they made an announcement on the speakers that we couldn't do video or pictures because everyone just made a mess of everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't let this happen. It's my first concert. I'm here. Like, I want it to be magical, and it was. And let me breathe. Because when I tell you they made this stage and it was like a gigantic volcano crystal mountain, it looked like, you know that part at Six Flags where it's like, I think it's like the Superman one of those rides where it's like these crystals. It was like a giant mountain and it was a cave and it had a hole with lights in it, and then there was this light of a symbol that looked like a menorah. I'm like, wait, what is this? But it was actually a figure of him with like these rings around it. It was lighting up from the top of this mountain, and I'm like, oh my gosh, someone hold me. And the music started slowly crawling up at you, and the lights came up from in this cave mountain where he was entering through. And of course everyone was recording this moment anyways, even though they weren't supposed to, because it was just like that entrance, like the start of it. I knew that this was going to be one of the most best experiences of my life. He came out looking like a Mighty Morphin Intergalactic Power Ranger with the whole entire space-age astronaut suit that fit his body perfectly, hugged his butt and like everything. And I'm not going to get into detail, but those girls in the front row, I wish I was in that mosh pit, even though my friend was too little and probably get lost and she was sick, and I would have probably like sweated to death. And there was girls passing out literally where EMTs, like the emergency people, had to come and like revive them, saying it's okay, and people throwing up on the stages behind us. And it was just a bodily experience probably for everybody. And I know why girls were fainting now, because He came out with like this Elvis mic stand and doing a dance with his moves and he sang that. He did not lip sync. You knew that this was live, this was raw, it's gonna be real. And when the performers Logic and Tyler the Creator came on before saying that this is the best performance I've ever seen of him, they were not kidding. He made you feel good. He pumped up the audience. He made you feel like you were live and interacting with him, because he said that this is the best audience he ever had. He made you feel good, like you were the only one in that room almost. I mean, apart from like, you know, everyone getting sick and passing out and they're like, oh my gosh, this experience. And this is why I like Kid Cudi, because he came out in that suit and he is not afraid to be a nerd. He'll admit it. He'll pick up like those foam meteor asteroids that he made sure that was there to make it look like a whole space age Star Wars. In the back was a screen behind this giant mountain of like galaxy. He asked you since the beginning of the show, are you going to make this good? Because I'm going to make this good for you. Are you going to stay from the beginning till the end? Because he makes sure that overtime that you worked to save all the hard-earned pennies and coins and cash for this ticket, for this show, that it was going to be worth it. And he told you how hard he's been working on this, and he wasn't sure that you're going to like his new album, but it was so good. I will listen to him any shape or form. If he makes an album tomorrow that sounds like he's just farting into a microphone, I'm like, okay, I'll probably buy it. I am going to see him in concert again. I just know it. So that's why I decided to draw Kid Cudi today, because he gave me an experience that I will never forget. And let me tell you, that concert was from 7:30 to past 11 o'clock and almost midnight. And I was standing up on his parts the whole entire time. Like I knew I was at my seat, but I did not pay any attention to it or sit in it. I wanted to be alive and awake and dancing my butt off. The pictures I could have taken, the audio and video visuals I could have taken of that, it would have been shaking because I was dancing my butt off to it. And when I tell you that everyone in that audience, I was looking around and they all knew the lyrics to the songs as much as I did. He did not only give you his new stuff to promote his newest album, but he gave you the old things. He played Mr. Ranger and I was just like shaking. I was like, is this happening right now? This is my all-time favorite song. He played Soundtrack to My Life, which was my second all-time favorite song of his. And he did Pursuit of Happiness. It was a beautiful thing. He told you about how it's going to connect with you as a human being and a person, and how he tries to make art like music. The Man on the Moon is totally worth it. Above and beyond. So I hope you guys liked the drawing. If you're into rap, R&B, and a little bit of rock and a mix of it, please check him out. Thank you for listening to me ramble about my first concert experience, and of course what I would like to know from you guys is what was your first concert you've ever been to, or if you haven't been to one, like what is a person's concert you would want to go to, because music is a universal thing. I feel like it connects so many people. I've said this many times, but this is the best thing I think I've done. And of course, I'm going to save my ticket forever. I'm going to turn this into a bookmark or probably frame it with something, with this drawing maybe. I do not know. I'm surprised the sun is still out because I feel like I've been talking forever. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. And before I forget, shout out to Nolan who drew me this. Look at how cute that is. Yes, it's me. Thank you, Nolan. And I will see you guys soon. And I love you guys so, so, so much. Bye. We are doing some Willy Wonka type things up in here, but it's not a golden ticket, it's a drawing, and I hope you like it just the same. If I could make it rain chocolate waterfalls and have Oompa Loompas, I would bring it in here, but I could just draw them for you. Now, if you don't know what Alice in Wonderland is, what rock under what planet and what galaxy universe do you live at? Because she is one of the very few Disney girls who did not get love and got the lower end of the totem pole. She just kind of fell into a hole in another universe that was really creepy and weird, where she learned life lessons and came back down to earth. And that's about it.